I'm excited today to help you get started buying tax deed auction properties. First, we're going to start by looking in your area of what auction properties that you may be interested in locally, or if you want to buy remotely across the United States. So let's get started. I have a few examples here set up for today, and you want to review these carefully because each state, each county is going to have their own particular process. So you can see they do have an explanation here of the tax deed sales process where property owners have not paid their property taxes. Now, you want to read through carefully. Don't assume that each county that you switch to or city or state are all going to be the same. They're very specific to that locality. So you do want to read through that. Then you can also do some training here. They do have that, registration, how do I create an account, the calendar. These are when the upcoming sales are. The auction details, we'll go through this in detail. The watch list, where these are the properties you might want to be interested in bidding on. Your account, how you're going to take title. You may be bidding for yourself, but taking title in someone else's name. These are the deposits. Those do need to be done in advance. The bidding process, how it works, how it resets. And the auction results, of course, that's when we want you to win. Making your payment, which is typically due the same day, the next day by 9 a.m., the next day by 12 p.m. or 5 p.m. So each locality is going to be very different. Some of them need to be made in person, some can be wired, some need to be overnighted. If you have enough in your deposits, you may be able to pay from your deposit amount. And then refunds, that's refunds of your deposit, not of your auction results. So with registration, this is a training video for registration, but when you're ready to jump in, you can go ahead and go through the FAQs. Now these FAQs also change by locality. So you see that there is a lot of information here to go through. Don't just jump in on the day of auction and think, okay, this is the day I'm going to get my property. So let's go ahead and you can start here with the FAQs, but we're going to go ahead and go through the registration screen. You're going to do your contact information and your mailing address to create your login. This login can be used across a few platforms, and then you're going to register. You're going to then make your deposit. I will log in here really quick and get that taken care of. And it also gives you the history of, how much funds you've had, how many auctions you've won, how many you have refunded. Over here is the make the deposit right here. And you can either do a counter deposit, obviously that's in person, and then a wire transfer on this one. Some of them we do have to overnight. Most of the platforms, it's going to take 4 to 5 days if you do wire it in to register on this account. So be at least 1 week in advance of any auctions. Then the fun part, once you've gotten your deposit done, is going over here to the calendar and let's see what auctions are coming up. This is when we start doing our research. Now this is one of them here. So you see that there's an upcoming auction. There was 15 properties coming up. Here they are. There's 10 remaining. So that means that these have been redeemed. So either they have sold to someone and that person paid off the taxes, or they got their taxes current. Some get canceled also, depending on their situation. And then you can see that the next one has a lot coming up, 36 properties. And then they go out, you can see they've got some big ones coming up. And there is a technique of contacting those owners in advance, working out a deal with them ahead of the auction. So if you find something you truly like and you want to go after that and sell it quickly. And then we start evaluating each property here. It's going to have a case number. It's going to have the certificate number that's going for auction. It's going to have the opening bid. The opening bid here is $1,600. And then their assessed value on this property is at $12,000. That's what they have, this assessed value. That doesn't correlate always in these areas to market value. However, it is a guide for that. Then we're going to click in here for the details on this tax deed auction case. There's going to be a tax collector tab, a property appraiser, a tax deed document, street map, satellite view, and they do have a Zillow view. You can also review the who the applicant is. This is the certificate holder here. And then who the agencies are. So you have City of Fort Myers, you have Lee County, they have Development Services Code Enforcement, so that's something to look out for with code enforcement. They do have a special assessment here, they have a utility charge. So these are outstanding fees, and then it does show the owner here. So that is the party that is losing this property to auction. We can go into this one a little deeper. It has the legal description here. So the legal description of the property. And then it has the parcel ID. Sometimes the parcel ID is definitely what we need because they don't all have addresses. Addresses are postal addresses. So let's click into this and get a little bit deeper on this property and check out what So this one just loaded directly to the county's website. It's going to go in, we can go into property taxes, we can go into the research of the GIS. We also have the property appraiser. So the property appraiser is going to give us, and see, this is what happens sometimes, is they don't have their connection correct. So let's go through. I did grab that parcel ID number, so I'm going to put that one in here and go right to the property. So it's going to have the parcel details over here. It has the aerial view. So let's go into the details on this property. Just a deep dive on this property. So we can see that this is a nice community-based lot, has a neighboring property. So that's really good. It's going to go through the size of the lot. And then this one has a lot of information going all the way down to sales transaction history, flood, solid waste, everything that the county is assessing on this property. If we go back, we can also see a satellite view of this. They do include the links on here. So again, it's matching what we saw on the tax assessment. But there is a neighboring home. We can even go to location here to see. It's a nice paved area, has utility poles, so all that is very important in your assessment of this property. Sometimes with their Zillow links it will have an accurate pricing. Sometimes it really won't, because this one looks like it's just pulling in the assessed value from the taxes. But you can go a little bit further in your searching and narrow it down to the lots for sale in this area. We don't want to use the homes, we just want to use the land on this one. So for the researching, okay. There is, we can go to the bidding screen. So once we decide what we feel that this property is worth, we can go into placing the bid. Now again, you're going to want to do all your due diligence, make sure it's a buildable lot, what liens are outstanding. We do have the companies that we use for lien searches. And with these properties, as you click through with all their messages, this is what the bid screen looks like. It's $1,600 opening bid. We can enter our pre-bid here, and the plaintiff max bid. So the total of what is due is hidden. Sometimes these are published, but right now we do know that the opening bid of $1,617 should cover what the taxes are that are due. So we can actually just enter our bid here. So if we're going to say we're going to bid up to $2,000, oops, be careful with that, and we can confirm our bid here. And so then that holds our bid. I'll show you how the screen works. So it says my proxy bid right here. So if I push this again, I can go ahead and remove my bid, and that is removed. So that's if you don't have time on the day of auction, you can actually pre-bid and set your bids on here. As long as you have enough deposit in, these auctions here are a 5% deposit of your winning bid. So that's what you need to have on hand in your deposit account. I'm gonna go here and switch over to, this is a tax deed auctions in Virginia. So you can see here, it goes through each of the counties that are coming up. We have Matthew County, Caroline County, Prince Edward, we have Spotsylvania, Middlesex County, and Waynesboro. So these are all delinquent tax sales in these counties in Virginia. And then I pulled up some Texas here, Harris County down in Houston. You know, again, they do have a buyer beware statement. So this is where you want to do your due diligence, your research. And these are some of their upcoming properties. And then they have their minimum bid. So this one is sitting here at $57,000. This one's at $24,000. So this is where we deep dive into what these properties are worth, doing our due diligence if we can do a drive-by of these properties. And there is quite a bit coming up. That's more than 3 pages. So I definitely want to help you with these type of auctions, especially if it's a specific area. You know, we do train, we do mentorships, and then we do trainings all the time. So we want to have you join for a live. So sign up, drop your email, and also we offer free 15-minute calls with me, so I can get you started, get you headed in the right direction. So you can schedule a call with me too. And I appreciate you being here today. Thanks. Thanks for joining me on that speed demonstration of how to find auctions and get registered and start researching properties. So join me for a live class, schedule a call with me, that's free, and also look into our mentorships and courses. Thanks.